Hey guys, I'm Blade BowQuest, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to make as much silver in Black Desert Online as you want. So I've isolated money making into 5 different categories, and the purpose of this video is going to talk about the first category, which is active income. This is how you spend your time, trading your time and energy in order to get silver. So I've got 20 different methods on how to make between 1 and 2 million per hour. So let's hop right into the game here. And there I am. Alright, good stuff. So the question is, how do we get a bank that looks like this? Okay? How do we get this? While also, of course, having gear that looks like this. Now, in this game, Black Desert Online, it is a heavy, heavy gear grind. And this, whether you love it or hate it, your money will determine how good your gear is. And of course, your gear plays a major part in how strong you are in this game. So, people have been asking me on my YouTube channel, can you isolate your money-making methods into energy per second units? No, I'm just going to go ahead and try to help players get their gear. If you can take this data as far as you want, you can map out the energy costs and everything if you decide to, but I've got about 20 ways here for you guys to make some significant silver. So a lot of them are just underutilized. This should help you guys. That's the purpose of this. Okay, so let's talk about combat. This always gets brought up in all of my streams. Anytime I'm doing anything to make silver, people say, why aren't you grinding to make silver? Now, that is a valid way to do it. It should not be ignored in a silver making guide. So this is a very good silver area, silver grinding area. This is Sawzins. Everybody loves calling them Susans. You get into a group of 5. You set up the loot system in your group so it goes right to the marketplace. This way, all the prices, it goes to special deals. They're sold without any taxes, and that's split amongst the group. Keep your pets out, and you're going to get tons of junk loot, basically, to convert into. Generally, this is going to be about 1.5 million an hour. So, not bad. If you're high combat, you want to get your combat skills, you want to get your skill points, or combat levels. This is a fine way to do it. For this video, I'm going to leave out entirely going for high-end loot. So you can farm for marks and ogre rings, to your heart's content. But here, this is basically going to get you reliable gold per hour. So anyway, that is method number 1, right? The good old Susan's grind. The next thing is boss scrolls. Now, these are underutilized a lot of times, and you okay there, buddy? All right, good. These are underutilized, and honestly, it's a significant source of income. It really is. And this would be buying, or you can get them any way you want, but you would buy these essentially, and you would go and run these scrolls with a group. So when you get 5 ancient relic crystals, what you do is you combine them in your inventory in a little plus shape, and they give you these boss scrolls. So when you do a boss scroll, it's all the way, let's see if we can grab an area here. Okay, so it's all the way down here. You get into a group of 5 and you run these. Now the reason you go into a group of 5 is that each one of your scrolls will update a quest, but at the same time, everybody else doing their quests, you get the boss loot for that as well. They will drop hunter seals, 1 per boss that's done in terms of other people in your group. And then at the very end you get 3 different boss packages because you kill 3 bosses here. And you get hunter seals and then memory fragments. So 1 memory fragment, 1 hunter seal per other person's boss, and you're going to get these 3 packages. What happens is, when you sell all the loot, you convert the hunter seals generally into armor stones. That's typically the most profit. Once you sell them on the marketplace, you're going to generate about 2 million per hour. So this is extremely reliable. Even at the higher prices now, see, memory fragments have gone up significantly since the most recent patch. And then here's the shards at 320. When you buy these ancient shards at around 320, which you're not going to see anymore, but 320, and you're selling memory fragments for 190, it was making about 2 million an hour. Now, you're going to make more net wealth than that if you use the memory fragments. If you need these for your boss armor repairs, things like that, you're going to be generating a significant amount more than 2 million per hour in terms of net worth. But strictly going off of what you can do, just start to finish, buy them on the marketplace, all these ancient relic crystals, and then sell the memory fragments, sell your junk loot. That is reliably 2 million an hour, kind of on the lowest side. Alright, so onto the gathering portion here. Now, if you're gathering, there's a couple things that you're going to need that is going to greatly increase how much you're going to get. Okay, the first is some kind of a gathering uniform that will increase your gathering level by 1. If you have a ghillie suit, throw that thing on. That will help, of course. The other one is a Balanos Special. Okay, so Balanos Special is going to be 2 gathering rank right there. There's other food as well that you can just look through. If you can't afford that, it's only about 38,000. Trust me, by the end of this guide, you can afford this. But if you want to go much cheaper, only get 1 gathering speed rank, you could do that. So I typically gather with about level 3 gathering. And I like shining tools, but honestly they're not quite as much money as just using steel tools, to be honest, just because of the cost of the tools. So there's a couple different things you can do. This is an amazing area for gathering money, and you can probably see why. So let me show you where I am on the map. So this is Velia, that's Heidel. Here's that little fleece node, and I am to the east of that. And there are 3 different things that you can do here, all depending on, you're going to make your choice depending on your server prices. But all of them are very good. The worst one is about 1.5 million an hour. Okay, so essentially, we've got a butcher's knife on. We're going to switch over to a tanning knife for this. So do whatever AoE you want. Obviously there's a limit on how many you can attack at one time, so just do a bunch of AoEs. Let them all fall, and don't tell Peter you're doing this. So from there, just start harvesting. My gathering time is typically around 4 seconds when I'm doing this. Getting sheep hide, I get between 1 and 4 of them. You can also get soft hide while doing this. It's a rare drop of these. So that would indicate about 2.05 million before the cost of tools and food. So seriously about 1.8 reliably. Now I say 1.8 million per hour, right? The thing is, this is going to take you maybe 300 energy or so in an hour because it is so quick, especially if you have even higher gathering level than I do. Professional 10 gathering right now. So you're going to basically drain your energy doing this, but it is such a huge amount of money that it is worth it. And the reason I'm not doing energy per silver or anything silver per energy, and it's more silver per hour, is because once you know, okay, what is getting you the most silver in the shortest amount of time, once you're out of energy, you can just change your method. You can go back to those boss scrolls, you can go to fishing, you can do really anything. Also, if you've seen my other guide, how to get 2,000 to 3,000 energy per day, for me, energy is really not a major factor. I just want to know how I can spend my time to get the most amount of silver fastest, and that might mean I'm going to be out of energy in 45 minutes, or it might mean I'm going to be out of energy in 3 hours, because I'm mostly concerned in speed. Alright, so pretty simple. This is what you're going to do. You're going to gather the hide. Later on, if you process this into soft hide, that ends up being another method for some money. But let's see. So another one though, if hide isn't 1.5 thousand on your server, and it should be, you could butcher, right, to get the meat. That should be 1.5 thousand. Either one of those, if you're at 1.5 thousand per piece, with high enough gathering, you should be looking at the 1.5 million plus per hour. Now, if those aren't working, this will certainly work, and that would be blood. Okay, so these I always sell at the max price, so 2,200 at the absolute best rate, probably going through about, I would say it would take about 350 energy to do this. You could get up to 3 million an hour harvesting sheep blood. So you can see why this is a method that should not be ignored. It is pretty valuable. Alright, so another very little known and highly profitable area is right here. So this is Glish. This is a little bit northwest. You're going to look for this triangle formation here in the road. And here we're going to be killing lizards. So this is an extremely good place. This is good for lizard hides. Lizard hides mapped out at about 1.5 million an hour. Again, under the exact same circumstances as the sheep. So if you're not able to quickly one-shot these things, if you don't have a high gathering level, if you're not using steel tools or shining steel tools, and you're not using gathering level costumes or food, then you're not going to be getting that. Shining steel is quickest, but ultimately I do believe steel is a little bit more profitable. So you want to be gathering lizard hides if they're at 1.5 thousand, up to 2,000 of course in your server. Oftentimes these will sell at max price. You can always pretty much list them at max price. These get converted later into hardhide, which is used for horse gear, and that's what's basically supplying this market. Another one, of course, is lizard blood. So again, alchemists love this. This is 2.5 thousand each. So this is again pushing 2.5 to 3 million an hour. It is a very high energy cost type of activity. Alright, so your next area for gathering is going to be right here. So here is the Western Guard camp. We're a little bit south. What we're looking for are boars. So these guys right here. Right, you can pretty much guild meeting, what do you know? So you can pretty much do any of the three resource types here. So pig blood is going to be quite good. We're looking at 2,000 each pig blood. That is going to be significant. Chance of getting trade items at the same time. All sorts of good. If you're using a butcher knife, you can typically sell these things around 1,500 to 1,800. And then the hide as well, if you're using the tanning knife, a little bit under 1,500. So how do you know which of the resource types to gather on your server? So you want to go to the marketplace. So let's just look up pork real quick, and you can see pork completely sold out. Oftentimes you're easily going to be able to sell these at an almost unlimited quantity for the maximum price here. So if you are going with pork, we're looking at 1.5 million an hour. If you're going with pig blood, and this is again completely sold out, around 2,000. So you're definitely going to be pushing closer to 2 million per hour. And then the last one, of course, would be pig hide. These are typically on the lower side, but always sold out. This is probably on the 1 million to 1.5 million an hour. Now, if you're keeping your pig hide, you can later use these and then create your tough hide, which then you can sell in the marketplace and make. It's one pig hide to tough hide at Artisan 7 processing is going to be about 1.2 million per hour profit if you're buying the pig hide at max price and then converting it into tough hide and then selling the tough hide on the marketplace. If you're gathering your own pig hide, then you can basically cut off 35% of the profit that you would have lost basically if you just sold it. So you could gather this, convert it later, and then keep that that profit loss. Alright, another very lucrative area to know about for gathering is east of the Western Guard camp. Now this entire area, this little triangle thing, is a fir forest. Fir sap is going to be the highest seller here. So you don't want to chop down the fir trees, you want to get the sap. So typically fir sap is anywhere from 1.5 thousand each to 2,000. So on Eden right now, it's closer to 2,000. This is a pretty well-known area. But again, you should know about it as well and just kind of keep it in the back of your mind in case the other ones are just not working on your server. Ultimately, obviously, once this guide is released, most of these things that were relatively unknown, they're going to be exploited, which is fine. It's going to go into the marketplace. So that's why I'm trying to release many different methods. What you basically just do, you can see how much further it is. It's everywhere. Just channel hop, essentially. Here's your safe area. Just hop channels. You can bounce back and forth. And then again, if this is completely dried up, you still want fur. Pretty much every farm around here is completely lined in fur. So they respawn quickly enough, you will easily be able to make a decent amount of profit. Fur typically, depending on how camped this is, if it's completely picked clean, 500,000 an hour at the stats that I gave you. Or on the best side, 2 million an hour. Again, it's going to be a pretty high energy drain, so just know that you can't do this continuously. But if you got full energy, you want to make a couple million, this is another option. Alright guys, so there are 5 options in a really close area, which is quite nice. I might not have to show you this area just because if you played this game, you've seen it within the first 15 minutes. It's east of Olvia. So I'm talking about weasels, foxes, and wolves. Now not every part of all of these animals is useful. But again, we're going to keep doing our same gathering thing, very similar to what we did with sheep. So if you look, the meat is not going to be quite as good. So this is less than 1,000. Here's how you figure out what it is that you should be looking for. So you're going to go here, type out blood. Weasel blood, pretty good, right? Anything close to 1.5 thousand, you're looking at between 1 and 1.5 million an hour. Wolf blood, even higher. So quite good there. And then fox blood, if we can find it, is down here, sold out, 1.5 thousand each. So again, between the 1 and 1.5 million an hour. Now if we're looking for the meat, just because those markets aren't good enough on your server, you can see fox meat is not quite as priced well as the others. Weasel meat pretty low, but wolf meat is pretty high. Completely sold out, you can get up to 1,800 right there. That's where you start pushing the 1.5 to 2 million per hour. And then again with hides, you want to figure out, okay, which hides do I need? What's my server doing? Wolf hides, relatively worthless. Weasel hides, worthless as well. Fox hides, though, they're going to be a lot better. So sold out, and about 1.2 thousand. Still, you're going to be able to get over 1 million an hour just harvesting fox hides. So good area, guys. There's foxes right here. Wolves are a little bit south. Weasels are kind of weaved in between. Just look at the map, find your clusters, just go to town, and again, don't tell PETA. Alright, on to processing. Let's talk about a couple ways to make money processing, especially things that go well with what we just did in gathering. I will be using a +2 craftsman close. You don't need this. It's going to give you additional XP, but the thing that's kind of nice is that it gives you a success rate level 3. So essentially, when you're processing, you have a chance of it not going as planned. It gives you a little system message, processing not going as planned. That just means you didn't fail, you didn't ruin anything. It just means you have to try again, and it takes about 8 seconds or so to do it. But either way, so we're just going to hit produce, we're going to go over, and we're going to dry these hides. So you have to look up here. If the weather is sunny and clear, you can dry this. If it is raining, you cannot dry, at least not outside. So basically, the hides to dry are sheep hide or fox hide, depending on whatever you got earlier, lizard hide, and pig hide. So let's just do lizard hide right now. Now lizard hide is going to become hard hide. I always like to do my drying in the middle of water. Why not? So hard hide, typically very, very valuable, again, for horse gear. So here we got 3 of them. We're going to be able to sell this for 8,900 a piece, so that works. Now all 3 of these, sheep hide and fox hide, will go into soft hide. Lizard hide goes into hard hide, and then pig hide goes into tough hide. All 3 of those are going to generate around 1.1 million an hour. It's going to consume heavy energy, just like everything else that we're doing here. But it is pretty reliable, 1.1 million or so to 1.2 million an hour. So it should work. Alrighty guys, so I want to touch on fishing very briefly here. All of my methods, or at least the majority of them, consume a vast amount of energy. You run through your energy, and then, what are you going to do after that? Obviously, you could watch my 2000 energy guide, and you'd be able to do this for quite a while. You can use it on ults, things like that. But when you're out of energy and you still want to make a decent amount of money, I think fishing is a great alternative to grinding. So over here in Velia, there's a little guy on the shore that will give you a daily quest. Or a repeatable quest. I'm not sure if it's a daily. But either way, you can get a triple float rod. This allows you to catch 3 fish at once. This is a pretty high level requirement, and I don't have it. I'm not sure which level that you need for it. But basically what you want to look for are hot spots. There are spots in this ocean out here somewhere where you don't catch any fish bones. Okay? If you want to just level up fishing so you can get that triple rod, then you want to go to these blue hot spots. If you want to go for money, you want to go for the yellow ones. So what I do is I use this guide right here, or this map. This is maomaoprints.com. Okay, so let me just maoprints.com will take you to this fishing map. Hit map, and there you go. Now these are the current hotspots. Basically this means swim your boat out there, or just swim out there on your own using potions and stand on somebody else's boat, because people do it all the time, and fish the blue ones until you can get some decent XP. You really want to go for skilled 5 so you can start using that steel fishing rod. That's going to increase your fishing level by 2. There's a fish suit in the pearl shop which will also increase your fishing by 1 level. And once you have a decent level, once you have a decent rod, you're probably going to long-term want an Etheria rod. It has very high durability, especially for AFK fishing, and then that triple float rod for active fishing. So you want to go to these yellow spots, cast in there, and you're looking at about 1.2 million an hour plus. I've heard as high as 1.8 million. So if you're tired of spending energy or you have none more to spend, that is a great alternative. Alrighty guys, so if you stayed with me all the way to the end, you must have really liked the video, which is good news for you because there's a part 2 coming out which is even better than this. While I was doing all this, it really helped me clarify my thinking as to what needs to happen for active income. I found so many more ways, even better ways, that the video, after it was edited, was about an hour long. So we're going to break that up into parts, but good news guys, if you did like it, you are going to get a lot more of the same kind of thing. Now here's my entire master series of generating wealth, the way I see it. Number 1 is active income, how you trade your time and energy in order to pursue silver. What are you doing to get silver? Okay, that is That is essentially the first stage or the first category. The second category is generating passive income. You need to have money flowing into your banks regardless of what you're doing. Okay, if you're sleeping on a bed, if you're killing somebody, you need to have more net wealth just kind of gravitate towards you. So passive income is the second category, and that's going to be coming up after part 2 of active income. Part 3 is going to be more residual income, which is essentially you're putting in more and then you're getting more back. This is very similar to passive income, not quite the same. And this is going to be manufacturing, this is going to be specialty goods, and investment banks, and kind of the synergy of all three. And again, how you can be generating wealth while you're doing other things in this game. The fourth category of building wealth, as far as I'm concerned, is something I call micro millions. That means, how do you go up to the marketplace and know exactly what to search for quickly and say, all right, in about 60 seconds of searching, I might be able to profit 400, 500K. How do you do that? I'm going to show you exactly which items to look for, what to buy them at, pretty much anything really at those items, and then what you can utilize them for. The fifth category of generating wealth, long-term big wealth, like the goals that I'm pursuing, is long-term investing. Okay, it deals with appreciation, deals with speculation. You have to know how the markets are moving, what types of money-making strategies increase the overall money supply of the economy, what types of money-making strategies decrease the overall money supply of the economy. So this is long-term investing. That's category 5. Honestly, if you just want quick income, this video along with part 2 is all you're going to need. But if you really want wealth for the future, then I've got the entire Money Mastery series all planned out. So I definitely hope you guys watch it. If you like the video, do me a favor, tell me about it below. And if I've earned your subscription or views on Twitch, I would love to see you, love to hear from you. Again, guys, I'm Blade BoQuest. Thank you for watching. I'm from America! Active income. How do you trade your time and energy to generate some silver? So, let's find out. Alright, here I am. Good stuff. So, rank 2.